Cosmic Girl 101 signing on for the Aquarius Rising Astrology for the month of July 2024. Let's have a look at the slower moving transits of these planets first before we get stuck into the personal planets. So these planets are still slow and still continuing in particular houses for you as Aquarius Rising. So what's sticking? What's changing? Well, Uranus is still direct in Taurus, your fourth house, and goes into a retrograde on September 1st. Jupiter, currently transiting in its detriment sign of Gemini, in a direct motion, your fifth house, and goes retrograde on October 9. Pluto's retrograde in Aquarius, your first house, and then on September 1st goes into a retrograde in the sign of Capricorn, your 12th house. And then Saturn retrograding Pisces, your second house. And this just occurred on the 29th of June 2024. So you may start to feel a flavor of what Saturn slowing down your second house is like as an Aquarius rising, and goes direct on November 15. And on July 2nd, Neptune's going retrograde in Pisces, your second house, and direct on December 7. Okay, Aquarius rising, you've got two outer planets moving very slow in a retrograde motion in your second house of assets, possessions, finance and resources, where you build skills to create a niche expert subject that provides resources for you. It's where you educate yourself and upskill that supports you. So Saturn and Neptune retrograding here in the second house. If you feel that there's changes that you need to make with your finances or possessions, or you are overwhelmed by your possessions and finances, or even financial situations, Saturn and Neptune retrograding here can bring back opportunities to look at things with a finer lens, sift through the debris of what's working, what's distracting, what's draining, and get on top of your financial game. It's really quite beneficial for you as an Aquarius rising. On the 5th of July, we have a new moon occurring in the sign of Cancer, and this is the moon's domicile sign. So the moon can do lunar things quite organically in the sign of Cancer, which is connected to emotional security, changing things up so we feel emotionally supported. This is where we're really in our heart chakra, and this is for you as an Aquarius rising. This is happening in your sixth house. Now, the sixth house has a lot going on with health and wellness, sickness and illness. It's where we are aware of our own physical health and our physical bodies, health routines that we pursue or health routines that we should pursue, workers from our workplace, our co-workers, how we interact with those, what we do for work, pets and services we provide to other people. So a new beginning that feels good, connected to the sixth house topics. But it's like you're psychically drawn to change something up on the daily grind, and this day just feels like you're ready to go and take action because it feels right. So a really nice new moon lunation for all of us, and for you no less in that sixth house of let's get on top of our daily stuff. Pretty good. July 21st, we've got a full moon occurring in the sign of Capricorn. And this is the moon's detriment sign, your 12th house. And Saturn, the dispositor of the moon, is retrograding Pisces, that second house, sextiling the full moon. So your 12th house and second house are sextiling on the 21st of July. So what does this mean? Well, Aquarius rising, it would be hard for you to push things under the rug when it comes to expressing things that have been chronic or things that you've been dealing with for a long time privately. This might be where you blow your top or be super mature and quite cold and eliminate something that you thought was beneficial to you. Interesting day. Opening up the month of July, the sun is continuing its transit in the sign of Cancer, your sixth house. So still dealing with Cancerian things, but it's quite obvious because that sun is strong. It's something that's an illuminator, and we're very aware of what's making us feel healthy or unhealthy. So health issues can come up, or just looking at your vitality and energy levels when the sun is transiting that sixth house of work and service. July 22nd to August 22nd, the sun is then going to ingress into its domicile sign of Leo. Boy, oh boy, can the sun do some things organically in the sign of Leo, which is shine brightly, be bold, stand out from a crowd, and be proud. And this is your seventh house as an Aquarius rising. A lot of energy, a lot of illumination connected to your relationships and partnerships, your house of joy and pleasure, the house connected to marriage. Also, agreements, contracts, and negotiations are highlighted here with that strong Leo. So being very aware of what's working, what's not working in regards to you and your commitments with other people. Planet Mars is also continuing its transit in the sign of Taurus, opening up the month of July in its detriment sign. For you as an Aquarius rising, this transit for Mars has been going on in your fourth house. So this is about your home and family, your home environment, like your physical home dwelling where you live, real estate and property concerns. And Mars transiting here can have you making very acute changes in the fourth house topics, or feeling like there's some conflict, or possibly feeling like you need to go in different paths and re-strategize about those fourth house topics, and can also have a lot to do with parents and parenting and your ancestry as well. That fourth house is where we get our solid foundations and what's familiar. And Mars here can try to, eliminate what's working, what's not, or feel like there's conflict around the fourth house. Sometimes we need conflict, Aquarius rising. Sometimes we need to shake things up and change things, because we might need to express energetically what's for us and what's not, or especially an environment. On the 15th of July, Mars is conjuncting Uranus. I have uploaded a separate video on the Cosmic Girl 101 YouTube channel about this Mars-Uranus conjunction on this day. If you want to have a look at that, it's already on the channel's video list, because it's an astrological big deal. You got Mars and Uranus coming together, so very, very unique day astrologically for these two planets coming together. And for you and as an Aquarius rising, this is your fourth house of what's your sanctuary, what feels safe, what feels secure, your family, parents, parenting, real estate and property concerns. This is where you might have a day of throwing out the baby with the bathwater and going completely in your own direction, connected to the fourth house topics, or there could be some real big disruptions going on in the fourth house topics of what is safe, secure, connected to home, family, real estate, property, parents and parenting. Dynamic day for you as an Aquarius rising. And that fourth house squares your first house. So what does this mean? It almost feels like this is coming, or you're aware of something that needs to change, that you possibly are fired up about and ready to take action, or at least express yourself. So I don't think this is too surprising this day, whatever comes up for you. It's something you already really know about. And only you have your own lived experience. You're the expert in you, Aquarius rising. You may already sense this flavor or change about to occur. On the 20th of July, Mars is going to be leaving your fourth house and ingressing into your fifth house, being Gemini, until September 4. So Mars in that fifth house of joy and pleasure, children, creativity, investments, gambling, sports, athletics. This is where we get healthy. This is where we start new health regimes, and also romantic relationships and partnerships. This house is all about joy and pleasure. So when Mars comes here, talk about passion, talk about ready to take action in the fifth house of joy and pleasure. Interesting transit coming up for you as an Aquarius rising. But the fifth house trines your first house. So it's an enjoyable transit. And you've got Jupiter and Gemini too. So yeah, pretty heightened, loud transit indeed. I think you might be in for a bit of fun, and if there's any disruptions or you're feeling that you need to change things up with your sense of joy and pleasure, and there's your house topics, Mars can help you to eliminate and remove obstacles. The 21st of July, Mars is trining retrograde Pluto in Aquarius, your first house. Now, Mars and Pluto in of themselves are big heavy hitters as planets because they're all about creating destruction, eliminating barriers that feel weighty, unnecessary, and sabotage and block us. They stop us. This is like a breakthrough day in regards to making a choice that's going to be significantly impacting you for the better, for the long-term future, connected to the fifth house topics of investments, children, creative pursuits that you are engaged with, sports and athletics, getting fit. Looks like you're really committed to making a change up. And especially with romantic partners, interesting day with Mars Pluto retrograde in a sextile, in a trine no less. Beneficial. The 25th of July, Mars is going to sextile the Sun, currently transiting Leo, your seventh house. Seventh house and fifth house sextiling, and no less Mars and Sun. This is like breakthrough moments. This is like passion. This is excitement. This is like a lit day with you and a partner, or an agreement or a contract that lands that feels like, yeah, it's going to be really good for me to commit. Fantastic day on the 25th of July, astrologically. Planet Mercury has been transiting for you as an Aquarius rising in Cancer, your sixth house of the daily grind. And on July 2nd, ingresses into Leo, your seventh house of partnership, agreements, contracts, and your house of pleasure and marriage. Now, Mercury can see you having very strong communication with partners and nutting out the details of contracts and negotiations and agreements with others. It's like you have the mental capacity to express yourself and take time to look at details, data, and analytics connected to those topics. Fantastic transit when Mercury is transiting in the seventh house, because it's almost like it's hard to gloss over details or not be aware of how you actually engage with others, whether it's beneficial or not. And in the sign of Leo, no less, which is all about being very proud and rambunctious and a bit more sassier, it's like if you've been holding back communication or feeling like it's been hard to get your head around the topic of a relationship or expressing your feelings about a relationship, marriage, and joy and pleasure, this is the transit to get on top of it or make the big reveals. On the 8th of July, Mercury is sextiling Jupiter in Gemini. Now, this is Mercury's domicile sign, and this is your fifth house of joy, pleasure, investment, children, creativity, getting fit, getting a little more athletic, and romantic partnerships. So this looks good for sealing the deal, signing on the dotted line, commitment, and a lot of banter and dialogue about a commitment or something that is, again, to do with your sense of joy and pleasure, or what is joyful and pleasure for you. Might be a big day for marriages or announcements of those aspects, engagements, announcing a pregnancy. Just looks like a great day for just fun on the 8th of July, so enjoy it. Mercury on the 21st of July. It's going to square Uranus and Taurus, your fourth house. Now, your seventh house and fourth house in a square aspect, it's like something going on in the home, or your sense of peace and serenity is at odds with a relationship or a contract. So a difficult day. Out of the blue communication, or communication that throws you off, whether it be coming from with outside you or you just feeling a little bit unconnected and unsure. So watch your mental health on this day. Watch for the need to take urgent action on signing an agreement or contract. Just be aware of the details and the analytics and the information. Forewarned is forearmed. July 25th, Mercury is ingressing into its exaltation sign and domicile sign of Virgo to the 4th of August, and this is your 8th house of assets, possessions, finances, and resources. your partners, how other people impact your possessions and assets. This is your money house. Now, Mercury in the strong sign, its own exaltation and domicile sign of Virgo, can really have you feeling like you're purifying, you're sifting through debris, you want to get down to the nitty-gritty, you need to know about your resources and assets, or especially your partners. And Mercury being strong here can certainly assist what's working and what's not. Great time to get on top of your financial space. Planet Venus continues her transit in the sign of Cancer, your 6th house, opening up the month of July. And on the 8th of July, she's sextiling Uranus and Taurus, her home sign. And this is your 4th house. So we've got like a surprise revelation in the family, something surprising going on in connection to the home or a parent, ancestry reveal, but it's a surprise reveal that's quite pleasurable or enjoyable. It's like an investment comes back, or you get an opportunity to buy a new home or something quite nice going on in the home. Sextiling to the 6th house of your everyday world and work and services. I'd be marking this day in your calendar as an Aquarius rising because something is quite auspicious connected to improving your home space and a place or environment that you're connected to every single day. It's just an interesting planetary alignment because Uranus is surprising and revolutionary and out of the blue, but it's about being future oriented, a visionary for the future, lining up with that Venus to her home sign of Taurus, the 4th house. It's like a really big breakthrough that's, yeah, it's kind of a financial breakthrough or something quite lovely lands with a contract with work. You might be working from home. It just looks really good. And on the 11th of July, Venus is going to ingress into Leo, your 7th house, until August 4. Sassy, bold, risque, out there, loud, proud, letting her freak flag fly in Leo. So for you as an Aquarius rising, relationships, agreements, your joy and pleasure house of the 7th house, marriage, agreements, contracts, negotiations look like fun. You could have some very pleasurable moments with partnerships. You could just be really enjoying investing in a partner, going shopping together, for example, or making a big purchase together. Delightful, delightful transit. Venus in Leo and in your 7th house of joy and pleasure with partners and marriage as well. Great transit. Enjoy it. 21st of July, Venus is sextiling Jupiter in Gemini, your 5th house. So the two benefics in a sextile is awesome. And this is your 5th house of investments, gambling, romantic partners, children, creativity, sports, athletics, sextiling the 7th house of marriage, partnerships, joy, pleasure, agreements, contracts, negotiations. You and a partner could decide to get fit together, make a big investment, but either way you cut it, this is a fabulous day. Cosmic Girl 101 signing off. I trust you have a fabulous month of July 2024. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next video.